Greetings, 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 my fellow quantum siders. How are we doing today? I got off work early, so I decided to give you guys a part two of yesterday's um, witnessing or going through the vortex, um, and really give you the detail of the pathway and the amount of time that I've covered with the quantum side of theory being applied. Last year, this time, I was coming down here from New York. I had moved to New York in attempts to escape the world of addiction, crime, violence, everything that Baltimore has if you look for it. So I went to New York, and I wasn't quite ready to give it up. I when I went to New York, I was a bartender. I um, lived a good party life as a bartender without drugs. You know, partying here, partying there. Then COVID came and shut everything down, and I gave in to the weaker side of me, and I was strung out again, chasing stuff back and forth. That's when I was doing things I'm not proud of. I was assaulted. I was stabbed, and I decided to come back to Baltimore to get myself together because it was my dad was on the verge of dying, so I decided to pack up and leave and come to back to Baltimore. I had acquired some money and got me a little truck, but in New York you could drive around with no license and uh, stolen tags, everything. As long as the vehicle isn't stolen and the cop isn't a prick, he'll let you go. I, I had this truck for a few years in New York while I was there. Brought the truck back down to Baltimore, got a job at a car wash. Well, I packed up one day and packed up everything and threw it in the back of the truck and left New York, headed back to Baltimore in hopes to get my mind right, to get a clear head. So I got a job at a spot where I know I could count some money by the end of the day. And I said, you know what, until I find a place, I'm going to sleep in my car or my truck. Um, it was hard to sleep at night, so I picked up heroin. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to do a pill a day till I go to sleep. When it's time to go to sleep. And I had an online drop shipping business when I came from New York. Uh, that was they had sold a few items, and it was needing steady um, my steady attention to put in the purchase orders and so forth. I lost all that in one night. Pop. Went from I had some marijuana that I was selling from a friend that gave me a pound, and I was doing back and forth. I was going back and forth, and someone wanted something, and I went to go get it. But right before I went to go get it, maybe 20 minutes before that, I sniffed something somebody gave me who was working with me. Mind you, I was doing it back in New York. You know what I mean? So, but it was a little bit too much for me when I got to Baltimore. 15 minutes later, I passed out behind the wheel. When I woke up, it was cops around me. Everybody was looking at me. The cops were like, "We're gonna give him some Narcan." I said, "No, I don't want no Narcan." And they gave it to me anyway, and I woke all the way up. I ran in the back of one person who I hit them so hard they ran in the back of four other people. And I had maybe 2 ounces of weed on me. They locked me up immediately. Everything I had was in the truck. Everything, my computer, my jewelry. I had about maybe $3,000 from jewelry that I had gotten from something else I had done. All my clothes, new shoes, everything, because I was coming here to start fresh. I wasn't leaving until I could at least look good. Everything gone. And I was in central booking in Baltimore City. Not a good place to be. Not a good place to be. All right. I knew I wasn't going to be long because it was just a simple traffic thing, and I'm not, I failed the DUI test, so I wasn't, because they didn't take blood, but they gave me a breathalyzer and I passed that, and when I got out, I was completely homeless. No truck to drive, no nothing, no computer to log on to, no phone to make a phone call. I was completely homeless and no money in my pocket. For the next few nights I got by. I went to my neighborhood and I did what I felt was comfortable for me to live through the night into the morning, where I could connect with some resources and get my mind clear. Because all this was just, in my mind, all this was never a hindrance. It was always a testimony, a powerful thing I'm going through. It was never the death of me. I never felt that this is where it was going to end at. I know my story is still in the making. And it's a novel. It's a guaranteed official story because I'm living it. So I don't have a car to live in. I don't have transportation. I have money. I'm East Baltimore, 3 o'clock in the morning, being released from Central Booking. No money, no plan, no phone, no nothing. And you've only been in the city. You've just come back to the city that you were away from for the first time in 5 years. I couldn't tell you how the next days went. I couldn't tell you because when I look back at hindsight, it was a well-structured course, but it was chaos in my mind. It was complete chaos in my mind. I was lost. I didn't know which way to go, but I believed. I'm trying to tell you, believing you can make it is the key to everything. In the book, The Quantum Side, I go over some laws and principles that have been around forever. And if you don't know them, it's your fault because they're out here. You have to seek the knowledge. But now, and you know what? I was blessed to be aware of these principles at a young age. And the way my life played out was a life of denying these principles and seeing what I could do on my own. And here I am now. When I apply the principles, I can manifest abundantly at a rapid rate. It's just up to me to control my emotions so I can keep adjusting my frequency to that of my desires. Because no doubt you're going to get approached with something that is beyond your level. Can you handle it at that moment? This is the level you want to be at. This is how you approach it. Okay, the static is just enough space to make static to make some kind of connection. If you start to link on with something, now you're on the same frequency. Now you rise up. Now you can reap all the benefits that that level has because you're on the same playing field. But if you're down here, pretty soon that level is going to snap out of it, and you're going to keep grabbing onto whatever you can grab onto. So when because I had had some bad, some past experiences with the law of attraction. One year, I applied my mind, and I was instantly. I went to the library. I got a book on law of attraction. I opened it. I read the first paragraph. I got a call from my father. He said, "Joe Frank, what you doing? We got a no." He said a lawyer called here for you the other day. Talking about he had a check for you. I said, "What?" Yeah, talking about $25,000. Just like that. The minute I opened the book, it's when you apply your mind to say, you know what? Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. That's when the vortex says, we've been waiting for you all this time. See how this is, see how this is, see how this is. And before it takes you to the next level, it says, let me see how he is going to handle this. Because if he can't handle this, he definitely can't handle what we really have for him at the end. And the end never happens. It just keeps getting better. So, I lost my license. I lost everything. I was homeless. I applied the theories. I started reading. My intuition was sharpening. And I followed my leads. I got the knowledge. And then the quantum side came to me. I said, you know what? You already knew this. Everybody is born with this. That's when I came up with the mind, the CPU of the gods. Because we are the gods. You and I. Alright? It's up to us to adjust ourselves accordingly and manifest love and abundance. Because somebody's doing it. Haven't you seen? So, when I got myself together, I was like, how am I going to snap out of this? I need my license. I need my license. I need my license. But my license has been suspended since 2009. With tons of tickets like insurance and speeding and false tags and no insurance, everything, serious stuff. So my road uphill was looking tremendously unwalkable. I applied my mind, I adjusted my frequency, I cleared my thoughts of all the bullshit that would hold me back. And I got in the vortex. I was lucky to be able to conceive the theory of a vortex in my mind at that time, being so far behind. But let me tell you something. I went to court for that. Those tickets, my license, the accident, everything. When I nodded out behind the wheel and crashed in the back of 4 different people. The 4th one was the mailman. Alright? I went to court maybe 2 times. First time I went, I had never I had never seen my public defender. I believe I spoke to her one time, and I told her what I told her about. The judge said, how do you plead? Not guilty. The the prosecutor couldn't come up with some evidence or whatever. He was granted another court date and said, if you don't have it by this such and such date, it's thrown out. I got a call even before the court date that, hey, Mr. Stokes, how you doing? Everything's been thrown out. You're good to go. Don't worry about it. Just like that. That carried at least 12 serious tickets: reckless driving, DUI, no insurance, no license, no address, no proof of that. Serious stuff thrown on, just like that. Now I said, okay, you know what? I'm in the vortex. I want to take all my other court cases. I'm going to trial for everything. As I went in front of the trial, by it being so long, from 2009 to now, everything thrown out. I was able to get my license back just like that. I took the test, passed, and I got my license. Right after I got my license, which was last week, no, I'm sorry. It was about a month ago. I got my license. I got a new job, making twice as much as I made at my last job. The bus ride to the job was something that I knew I had to buckle down to do, and I could really be the vortex, and the vortex could give me a car. My first paycheck, I took it to a dealer, they turned me down. Took it to another, they turned me down. I took it to another, they got me in something. I got keys to, and I moved out of a program into an apartment in the basement, a little shower, bathtub, sink, so forth. And I'm still waiting for my book to be released on the 22nd of October. The Quantum Side of Addiction gives you the theories that I exercised during my time I was doing bad. In the back of this car, I adjusted my mind. In the back of this truck and car, I adjusted my mind to say, you know what? I'm going to believe in this right here and let it manifest in me to get me out of this situation. Because you have to believe in something in this life. If you believe in nothing, I don't know what you are. But the power of you is in your belief in yourself and how you adjust or play your game. So I'm telling you, man, I'm promoting this book, The Quantum Side of Addiction. You can actually order it now on Amazon. And I'm waiting for the soft copy right now. I'll be giving out free copies to anyone I feel worthy, and because I want to get the word out there as much as possible. I want this book to be a basic text for recovery. I want this book to be a go-to if your mind is wandering or drifting and you can't seem to get anything together, but you want to, and you believe that there's a better way. I want this book to be the book for you. The Quantum Side of Addiction by Joe F. Stokes. Get it now on Amazon Kindle. Like, share, grow your hair, be fully quantum side aware. All right? Because we all here.